That's a perfect name for this show that we're about. My internet is awful, or sounds like I'm in a bag full of feathers or whatever the hell last time. But all right, guys, welcome in. This is the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. A little bit of a bonus show here tonight, exclusive on YouTube. I don't think we're casting this anywhere else, and if it is, that means the feed is messed up. So tonight we're going to be discussing the Halloween Kills trailer that dropped last week, and we kind of threw this around last week. Schedules didn't quite up, so we figured let's just wait and let it kind of simmer over the actual Halloween take place, and then we'll kind of get our thoughts on it. We've kind of shared our thoughts on Halloween Kills as a movie. You can check that out on our YouTube page and our podcast feeds as well. But last week, which I think was kind of teased by Jason Blum and about a week or so ago, and something was coming, and then I saw they dropped a book by David Gordon Green. I was like, I hope that's not all it is. It turns out to be what I thought was a really, really well done trailer that we've been waiting for. It sucks we have to wait a whole year to see the actual film, but I'm glad that we got this little nugget. So I'm going to start with Bryan on Halloween Kills trailer that dropped last week.
Well, okay, so and I'll speak for myself, but I gotta be very careful with what I say because I read those spoilers that came out on Reddit, and I absolutely am not going to spoil it, for anybody. So 100% got to watch what I say, because both of these teasers, they've got a year. They could make a lot of edits and change this movie a lot, but both of these teasers really reiterate everything and all the spoilers that I've read, and you can almost look at the teaser and go, yep, that's that scene. Oh, okay, there's that scene. So I'm going to kind of not go into what I think will happen or anything like that, just because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because I really believe what I read is to be true. Which, if what I read's true, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the movie. But the teaser I thought was great. The scenes where it showed Michael Myers being, uppercutting somebody. Obviously, I don't know if that's a hammer or whatever. Super violent. I'm here for that shit for sure. And the only thing I'll say is that, him picking up his mask, great shot in that teaser. But half of it being burned, I'm like, how did it not all get burned? Maybe they'll explain it in the movie. Maybe they won't and don't care. But that's just something, how I am. I'll just be like, how did that whole mask not get burned? But, anyway, I thought it was a great teaser.
All right. Yeah, I haven't read the Reddit spoilers that Bryan's read, but someone left a comment or an iTunes review for us on our podcast page on iTunes. And if you want to go read it, you can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might not be there anymore. I think
I tried to resist reading the spoilers, but Bryan and Mike kind of, were hyping up, talking about it. And I was like, God, and I gave into my temptations. But if you go to Halloween Kills Blu-ray forum, it's on page 51, I believe is what it is. If you want it, I'm just passing along the info I have if you want to go read the spoilers. But like Bryan said, a lot of what I read, I saw in this little teaser as well. I'm excited about, we saw Nurse Marion, Anthony Michael Hall, Tommy, you saw him a little bit. So I'm excited to see these new characters. And yeah, like Bryan said, Michael punching people. It's going to be, John Carpenter's already said it's brutal as hell. It's the highest kill count he's seen in a Halloween movie, I think. So it's going to be awesome. The teaser was way better than the first one they gave.
Hey, Anthony Michael Hall, friend of the show, did the intro for this episode. Right. And man, I wonder if that's I wonder if there's any pillow stuffed underneath his stomach, or else that he's got him a little gut on him for this movie. I think playing a little beer belly Tommy Doyle.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, when you Hey, wouldn't you be hammering back them beers after what you experienced in '78? I
Oh,
don't know. I
hey,
probably would.
no doubt at all. No doubt at all. I love Anthony Michael Hall. I love the dude. I'm just I was just pointing out what I saw in the teaser.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt. Real quick, I thought that the teaser was well done. I do agree with you, Nico. I think it was better than the first one they gave us. The first one was almost. Look, I want to be very hypocritical here because I do that sometimes. We complained in 2018, or at least I did, they gave too much away. And they still have a year to do that, by the way, where they could definitely give too much away. So that's definitely something that could happen. But I like that this gave me just enough because that first one was almost, why are you releasing this way? And I feel like this is a trailer they wanted to give us had the movie come out on this proper timeline as in last. And I feel like we would have gotten it, probably around June, like we 18, and then bam, we're full go. And I thought this was really good. I'm excited because everyone's kind of tired of Laurie Strode. I mean, we have a co-host here that is, but I think Jamie Lee Curtis in that trailer looks like she's going to give a great fucking performance as Laurie Strode. I have no doubt about that. Hopefully Judy Greer steps up. No offense if anyone's a big Judy Greer fan, but I'm hoping I get more out of the Karen Strode character. And I love the stuff with Michael Myers. I think the burnt mask is cool. Now, I do agree with Bryan. How the fuck was the whole mask not burnt? But I think it is a cool look for Michael Myers to rock because you can't just have him rock the same damn mask from the first one. It has to be altered. It has to be changed. And that's one thing Rob Zombie did right. Well, you saw him sitting in a blaze of fire.
Something I agree.
To go somewhere. Right. So, and that's one thing Rob Zombie did right. Now, I didn't love the Halloween 2 mask he had, but at least it was weathered and torn and, had some wear and tear on it. I feel like throughout some of these other movies, it just looks like you bought it from the, or at least in Halloween 4, that's what it looks like. So, again, there's a lot to like about this little teaser trailer. And like you, Bryan, I have read some of the spoilers. I haven't read everything because I've really tried to resist as far as the end and how everything goes with that. So there's some stuff that I'm still out of the loop on. I'd like to keep it that way a little bit for the most part. I almost gave in the other day to ask Bryan to send me the link. He couldn't find the link. I'm kind of glad in hindsight because I probably would have read all the way to the end because I was bored and quarantined. So probably would have done that whole thing. Go ahead, Nico.
No, I just wanted to comment on, you and about having more Karen, and I'm not going to spoil it either, but the what I read on the Blu-ray forum is basically this person said that this is a Karen Strode movie. It's centered around her a lot. And honestly, I'll say yeah. And I'll say that I didn't mind reading spoilers as much for this movie because we already know there's another one after this one.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, I honestly hope they don't give any more teasers until maybe 2-3 months before the actual movie comes out and give us one good trailer. But don't spoil it like you did in 2018's. Bryan, what was you going to say?
No, I was stretching, honestly. I really wasn't gonna say anything. But the stepping off what you said, I'm weird about stuff like this because I love reading spoilers about the movies that I really, really, really don't want them to mess up because I'm almost like I don't want to be disappointed. So I want to know what I'm getting into. Like, I've read the Rocky movies, the stuff that's that really interests me, that I really love. I really want to make sure that, okay, did you screw it up? Am I gonna be pissed at the theater? And if so, at least can I get myself in the right mindset to go and be okay. All right, I cannot expect this because I've read it, and now I can sit down and actually enjoy the movie. So I'm weird like that. I want to be spoiled in some stuff.
That makes sense.
Right. And I don't think you're alone. Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that. And I know there's a lot of people, especially within the Halloween YouTube, that loathe spoilers. So if we came on here and spoiled anything, then everyone would probably turn us and hate us. So we're definitely trying to not do that to the best of our abilities. because I've seen them like almost people's pages just because they spoiled Halloween 2018 and a lot of other movies. So I really don't want to do that. I know within the horror community, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. So, but what I will say is one more thing. I do like this teaser gave us a little bit of everything the cast goes. You get Allison, you get Karen, you get Lori, you get Tommy, you get Marion. Like you get a lot in this little nugget. And I think we know the movie I'm in for. And like, and we saw teasers from how they shot this movie where they're obviously going to go back to 78 for some of this stuff. And so I think that aspect of it is really, really cool. And that's just talking about the movie. That's not so much in the trailer. And I hope they don't release the trailer where too much is in there because I want to kind of know tied and connected and all that stuff. So I'm interested to see that. But we've all talked about this movie looks like it's going to be brutal. Going to be a very, very violent Michael Myers, which I'm out because it's about damn time. And I necessarily want him to be Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, but I am a fan of just a more on the attack version of Myers, and I think we're going to get that here from James and Courtney.
No, and one other thing I wanted to say is that, we talked at length in our 2018 review, and we nitpicked it to death, and we all made a different movie and a better movie in some instances whenever we were reviewing it. But one thing I know we all pretty much agreed on was that if you are going in this new direction, in this new timeline, which they did, why are you having so much callbacks to the old timeline and references and kills and this sort of thing? And what did worry me a little bit in watching this was the Nurse Marion scene where, Michael's hand comes, slaps a window and breaks it just exactly like it did in 78. And so I was like, come on. Like, I almost am like, okay, you had your references in 2018. Let's go in the new direction. Let's take it in the new direction. Stop making the references. If you're getting rid of Halloween 2, then stop making it exactly like Halloween 2. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I hope that that's not the case. I really do.
Right. And like you, I fear that this movie might have too much hospital in it. It's kind of looking like it might not be too much hospital. I know there's some in there, but I'm hoping it's not too much like Halloween 2 because, again, we're going in a different direction. That's great. I love that idea, and I know that you didn't necessarily like it from a continuity standpoint, but I did because I don't care about being brother and sister or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I've accepted it. I'm gone to therapy about it. I've talked about it with you guys. I'm
therapy. Hey, this show is therapy.
He went to Nicoh. Yeah, I was gonna say he went to Nicoh Chin's School of Therapy. Go ahead, Nicoh.
No, I'll just say that from the spoilers that I read, I am going to be frustrated about a couple of things from 2018. But I just wanted to touch on the burnt mask, just a fan theory. And according to, the show we recorded a few months ago with the delay reaction, according to the spoilers, I'm completely wrong. But my fan theory about the mask being partially burnt, I'm thinking, how the movie 2018 ends, he's just looking up through those spikes. I'm thinking that all he do is just rip the spikes out because it's just a wood floor, really, isn't it? I mean, I guess for his mask to not be burnt, the only thing I can truly think of is he just ripped some of the spikes out and just climbed out. That's the only thing I can think of because the basement's concrete. I mean, Michael can do all things through Christ who strengthens him, but concrete's pretty tough.
Probably not. But Michael, Michael was talking about the mask earlier. Like, he said you can't have the same mask, but why not? Because we've just watched how many Halloween movies and talked shit about the mask every time. Like, I would actually be fine with the same mask one movie for a one sequel. That would actually be a nice thing to get for once. But if it's just a little bit burned, I mean, it looks cool. It's not like Rob Zombie with half his face, torn off. So I mean, I'm good with it, but I wouldn't mind the same mask for sure.
Well, I mean, the original Halloween 2
By
had
the
the
way,
same mask. It just looked different on the guy's face.
yeah, yeah. And I'm fine with the same mask as long as the story calls for. But the last time we saw Michael Myers, he was standing around a pit of fire. So I'm just kind of wondering how that avoids getting burned at all. And I guess realistically, the whole damn thing would be burned off. So I don't know. I think it's a cool look. If I throw logic out of the window, I do like that look. One thing you did say I wanted to piggyback off of was all the callbacks. We nitpicked that to death. I think it was fine to have some fan service, but I do think if you're gonna just cut all those movies out, let's be done with that. Let's strictly make a new movie. See this one. I'm fine with 78 callbacks because again, obviously this set of Halloween movies ties so deeply into 1978's Halloween that if you do some subtle callbacks to that, that's fine. If you tie it into the story, that's fine. But once we start doing Halloween 2, Silver Shamrock mask running around, bandage mask, like whatever you decide to throw it, resurrection band, haha, get it. I mean, once you start throwing all of that in there, it's a little too much fan service. And I hope they get away from a lot of that in this movie. Just give me a good Michael Myers movie.
And you know what? I know we're not talking about 2018 really, but we kind of are. Like, I would just want to say, and I am very rarely in agreement with Nicoh on Halloween. But let me tell you, I am 100% in agreement with Nicoh in saying I'm more than freaking excited about James Hugh Courtney's take on Michael Myers, because I think it's just watching 2018 Halloween the other day, actually for Halloween, and it's just the way he moves, the way he moves in that one, the way he walks in that one continuous shot where he's going through the houses and killing everybody. Like it's so perfect. Good. It's exactly like you would want Michael Myers to be, and I'm so glad that they've got the same actor back playing Michael Myers. God, I mean, just some continuity finally, and thank God it's the same guy, because James Courtney killed it, and I love Nick Castle to death, but I mean, I know Courtney is the majority of those scenes, and he just kills
it. And I know that Nick Castle does get a cameo in this movie. I'm kind of I am find that within the movie like he did in 18. Where I was like, I wonder if that's Nick Castle. I wonder if that's Nick Castle. That's kind of a little bit of the fun of it.
I mean, what I'm about to say really isn't about doing the movie, but I think James is so good at it because him and Nick Castle are such good friends. I mean, if you follow James on Twitter or Instagram, he's posting pictures of him and Nick Castle at lunch or just hanging out a lot. So I think he's really I mean, Nick was the first, so he's learning. But no offense to Nick, but James is way better because he plays a cooler Michael, honestly. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Nick was great for his movie, but James is great for his movie as well.
Right.
I love James Hugh Courtney's portrayal, and I think from what we saw, it looks like he's adding some boxing moves to his repertoire now as well.
Hey, when he hit the uppercut, all I could think of when he hit the uppercut was that scene from the Chappelle Show where he's like, "Caught you with an uppercut, bitch," and he got him with the uppercut. That's what I kept thinking of. So,
now, did he just hit him with his fist? Because I thought he had a hammer or something in his hand.
I think he was punching him.
That's gonna be interesting.
I want to talk spoiler stuff, but I don't want to spoil nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe off air I'll say something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, maybe another. Yeah. Was like, okay. So on James Hugh Courtney and how 2018. So I just want to say we're not here to nitpick that movie to death because we all ranked it really high at our 31 on 31 the other night, and or at least most of us did. And I just watched it again with my girlfriend the other night, and she was pretty much, scared, had to look through the, very it's a really well done Halloween movie.
It's very well, very well done. You could argue it's the best one easily.
Right, easily. And I'm just hoping that this continues that. And I know Nick had a little bit of a not a nitpick, a pretty legit play in my opinion, where we announced 2 movies at one time. I do agree with that complaint with Nicoh, where Now this movie is kind of like a middle piece to get to the last. So I'm kind of with him on that, where I wish they hadn't done that in hindsight. I defended it, but the more time goes on, I didn't know Halloween was what was coming along. I just wanted to get out of my final thoughts on that, where I'm really glad we're getting kills, but every time I get a teaser for kills, all I could think of is, man, I wish in my head I was the final one, but we obviously know it's not.
Yeah, hey, I got a question. Go ahead.
I mean, announcing there's 2 more after 18 just automatically makes you not as invested in the ending of this next movie, because you already know whoever's fighting Michael at the end is not going to win. So, I mean, if it happens to be Andy, Matichek, Allison, or Karen at the end fighting Michael, you already know they're going to lose. So, I mean, it just takes it takes the suspense and the what's going to happen out of it. Not that it's not going to be a good bridge to the next one, because it probably will be a very good bridge, but it's not the final. It's not the end all. And I agree with both y'all. Before you go, Brian, my biggest pick with 18 was just so many callbacks, not only to the first one but the whole franchise. Like, I mean, like I said in our review, Vicky was my least favorite kill because they tried so hard to make that reference to that kill. With the pumpkin in the fish tank. It's like, come on, man. It's like, you don't have to force all this. I mean, you've already chose to go take a new timeline. That's my problem with the Halloween franchise, honestly, Mike, because I love Michael Myers in the franchise, but it tries so hard to just reference the whole thing over and over. How many classroom shots have you gotten throughout it? How many of the same shots, the same kills, everything over and over and over? It's like, be bold to you got John Carpenter's blessing. He's helping produce and direct this movie. Take it in your direction and stop using all of his stuff he already used, because he already changed the game. You got to add to the game. That's how I.
Now, what I was going to ask you guys is, and I thought about this the other day while we were doing the H2O review, and we had so much research and crap about how Akkad, didn't want to end the franchise because it made so much money. Okay, we're coming off of 2018, which has made the most money of any of the franchise, right? So kills and ends are going to destroy the box office. Okay,
of course
they're playing it up like Halloween 4, the final chapter. Like, it's going to be Halloween 3, the final chapter. Like, it's going to make a killing. Do you stop the Halloween franchise there, or do you continue it on and water it down?
I know what I think will happen, and I kind of said it. I think in Halloween 2018, I don't remember where I said it. My thoughts were always, we're going to get these 2 movies from Blumhouse, from David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and all those crew. Get these 2 movies, that's the end for sure. Like, I don't think they're going to add on, take away, prequel, anything like that. I think we're going to get this trilogy with these 3, and that's going to be it. But obviously, Jason Blum is a businessman. He's not going to just let it go. I think what you could do now I think what you could do is start over. Reboot. Who cares? Who cares? Give an all original Michael Myers. Put someone really smart in charge. And you remake. I'm saying you reboot, as in go a totally different new direction, because you're not going to follow their timeline, because I think Halloween Ends is going to be very finite in what it does. I do think at some point you will see Michael Myers again after this trilogy, but I think you could just start a new time. I mean, what the fuck? Who cares? Who cares? You're still going to pay money.
They're bringing out another. They're dropping another Texas Chainsaw movie next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know how much shit that's catching for exactly the same look that we all just gave whenever you said that. Like, come on.
I mean, 03 and 06 Texas Chainsaw was perfect. End it there, but money. They can't think of a new slasher.
Yeah.
Blum's already said he wants to reboot the Friday the 13th franchise too. So
I know after they rebooted
he doesn't.
Ridiculous. But
he doesn't need to do that.
I'm fine
just
with
make a sequel to Friday 09.
Thank you.
Yeah. Or get Derek Mears and do something similar. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the all of the ins and outs of the lawsuit, but I mean, it's all about the Benjamin. That's all it boils down to. Money rules everything.
Well, yeah, which is why I don't believe at all that this is going to be Halloween Ends. So I don't know. Maybe they'll get Daniel Harris spin off 4 or something and pretend like 5 and 6 never happened. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, it'll be well, I mean, they've already said they're going to kill Michael in this 3rd one, but like you said, they may call Daniel Harris up. Hey, do you want to be Laurie Strode in this one 40 years after you stabbed your mom or whatever, or your whatever with the scissors? You want to continue off of this? I mean,
they're going to kill Myers. They're going to kill Myers and Ends, and then the next one you're going to find out it was really an ambulance person, and she killed the wrong person.
Or
hey, we'll have to blame John Carpenter for that one though, because he's been there
the best way. Right, the best fact: get peed on by a dog. Thank you.
hey, how pissed off would y'all be at the end of Ends if Freddy's glove comes from hell and pulls him out
and pulls his mask down? I'll be like, yes.
or if Jason
it's
jumps
better than
out
being
or if Jason shows up to have children.
I think I'd rather.
I'm joking, Mike. I'm bullshitting right now. I'm just bullshitting right now.
I'm kidding. Hey, as long as I never
if that happens, I'm dropping
Myers,
18. If that happens, Ends, kills 18, bottom of the list. Like that ending would kill James G. Courtney's whole portrayal for me.
And I swear to God, if they ever try to put Pinhead against Michael Myers, I'm gonna flip my. I'm going to Jason Blum's door. Yeah, I'm going to Jason Blum's door and taking a massive shit right on his doorstep and lighting it on fire.
Hey, Pennywise is going to come from the sewer and get him.
All right, okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Off the rails.
I know. Hey, I'd rather see Busta Rhymes.
No, honestly though,
motherfucker.
Yeah, honestly though, I hope. God, it's such a bummer that it's November 2nd. We didn't get this movie this year, man. It's such a bummer. And we gotta wait. I think I saw the timeline. It's like over 350 days. Such a bummer.
Man, I was supposed to get Ghostbusters and Halloween these last 2 months. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Conjuring 3. God, what a bummer. Yeah.
You know, next year is going to be
2021
ridiculous.
Yeah. Saw,
Take all my
Halloween,
money. Take all my money.
Conjuring.
Oh yeah, Scream. That's right. Scream 5 next year.
Yep. Got a lot coming, fellas. Anything else? I have some stuff to plug, but anything else on the Halloween Kills teaser?
Hey, James G. Courtney, if you happen to watch, please come on the show. I'm begging you. You're the GOAT. You see my name is James G. Courtney Stan. Thank you for signing my mask. And Mike, do y'all want to get final thoughts before I plug the shirt and our website and all that?
Yeah, just be sure to, if you're watching this video and you like what you saw, if you didn't like what you saw, sorry. But if you like what you saw, you like what you heard, we have
it doesn't matter if you didn't like it.
Hey, we have a weekly podcast where we review horror movies. That's Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Review Podcast. We also drop all kinds of bonus. We've interviewed legends like Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, a bunch of different Jasons. We've interviewed Tyler Main. We have more interviews coming. Lynn Shay, horror legends like that. We have all that over there on our podcast feed, also on our website.
Don'tGoOutThere.com.
Oh yeah, no. Just like the shirt I have on Haddonfield High School. If you want to get a shirt like this, well, we have Friday the 13th, Saw, Scream, Friday. Friday. I already said that. Nightmare on Elm Street. We got all kind of different apparels, to your favorite franchises on our website, don'tgooutthere.com. And I'm going to put all of our links to our platforms if you want to listen to our podcast and all of our YouTube videos. Give us a shot. I think we do a really good job. I really enjoy it. We put in a lot of hard work, and thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to watching some more Michael Myers next year.
And bear with us on this YouTube thing because we're just getting the hang of it. We're going to get a little better. We're going to get a little bit more seasoned, like a good steak, and we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.